Steal this brilliant idea this summer and then take your feet back. You deserve it. I'm giving away this calendar along with all of these graphics that you see right here on screen for those of you watching on YouTube. Welcome to the summer calendar edition of the Hybrid Ministry Show. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Hybrid Ministry Show. If you and I haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Nick Clayson. I'm a youth pastor in DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area. And 15 or so years ago when I started in youth ministry, I wouldn't have dreamed about doing youth ministry in the summer. However, summer midweek has actually become a staple. And I remember the first year where I became a believer in doing youth ministry over the summer. I was up. It was like a Sunday night for our youth ministry, and I was teaching, and I looked out in the crowd, and I saw a girl who I hadn't seen all year long, but she was able to show up in the summer because her competitive dance practice took a break for the summer. And so ever since that point, I've been a huge believer in summer youth ministry. Not to mention, we go to camp right at the beginning of our summer, May 29th through June 2nd. And then to not have anything throughout the entire course of the summer just feels like such a wasted opportunity to capitalize and continue on some of that summer momentum. So whether you have summer youth ministry or not, these are going to be some different theme ideas. And if you do have summer youth ministry, in particular Wednesday nights, I've done the heavy lifting because over the last several years, in our particular context at our church, similar to other places I've been, the rest of the church shuts down. So kids ministry shuts down, adult groups shut down, all happen on Wednesday night in a normal cycle on Wednesday night, throughout the school year. But we come back for 5 or 6 weeks from about mid-June, once our camp recap night is over, until the end of July. Take a couple weeks off the first few Wednesdays in August, and then we're back that third Wednesday in August, and it's our back to school bash or whatever. So if you want to meet and do something over the summer, I have mapped out 6 amazing events. And what happened was a couple years ago, we were kind of coming back and realizing that we needed to drum up some momentum because the rest of the church wasn't going to be meeting. And so we looked at the National Day calendar, which if you've never done that before, there's just wild amounts of national days. There's 8 or 10 different options on some days of the month. And so since the dates change every single year for the most part, we can kind of do a different theme throughout the summer. So we don't do themes throughout the regular year, but during the summer, we'll lean into different national days. And I've done the heavy lifting. I have found them for you. And so I am giving away this calendar right here. And on this calendar, right up here at the top is where we put our summer camp. And then right here is where we do our 5th grade VBS spot. You can write in on top of this and any sort of design thing, Canva or Photoshop or PowerPoint or Keynote. And then I send a transparent version off to Sticker Mule to get a magnet printed. So go grab this. It's free over on my Patreon. But in this section right here, these are the summer Wednesday nights. And if you don't meet on Wednesday nights or you're not going to be leaning into these, this is where you could put something different. Down here is where I have our back to school time, and then our Sunday morning right down here at the very bottom. But this is where I would put, and where I did put, our summer Wednesday themes. Now, if you do have Wednesday and you want to just adopt what I have to give, literally, I'm giving this to you. Steal these for the summer and they are yours. And if you have Wednesday nights, we start on the 24th of June, and then we skip the 1st for the 4th of July, and then we go through the rest of July, the 8th through the 29th. If you do want to meet on the 1st, I've added an option in there as well. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to give you this episode now because some of you are planners and you need to get things printed, you need to get the ball rolling on some of this. I'm also giving away every single graphic, and I'm going to rattle through what these different nights are. But on June 19th, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe and turn the bell on this YouTube channel because, we drop an episode every single Thursday, whether it's in your podcast catcher or on YouTube. So turn on notifications. I'm going to send you a reminder about the upcoming Wednesday night so that you can start you can start planning. And then on the following Monday, over on my Patreon, my bonus show, I'm going to detail, recap, and outline how the entire night went. And I'm going to give you the service flow for the next upcoming night. So for example, you'll get the upcoming service flow over on Patreon the Monday before the Wednesday night starts. So for the first one, World UFO Day, I'm going to give you our entire service order. And what I always do on Patreon this summer, I'm going to kind of like lean harder into Patreon. So the Thursday shows are going to be quick hitters and just reminders about what's coming up. And then on Monday, we're really going to take a deep dive where we're going to answer what we did, what worked, what flopped, what I would change, and then give you the next week's assets. And here's my promise. I'm going to give you the entire service flow, everything I have planned for the upcoming Wednesday. So I'm going to give it to you with enough time for you to actually implement the ideas that we've already come up with in our youth ministry. All you got to do, set the notifications, set the reminders, make sure you're subscribed, and you'll get these every single week. So I'll give you the service flow. I'll give you any of our plussed up programmatic elements. For example, on one of the days being National White Elephant Day. Actually, it's not National White Elephant Day. It's actually National Give Something Away Day. And we kind of branded it around White Elephant. We're going to do like a White Elephant gift exchange thing in the middle of July. But I'm going to tell you exactly what we did, how we did it, and what other elements kind of went along with it. Along with the service flow and order. So any other kind of plussed up ideas. And then some are just going to be simple, like, yo, order chicken wings on National Chicken Wing and National Lasagna Day. I'm also going to give you any games, videos, and elements. And here's my promise, okay? I'm not going to create a custom or brand new game every single week. I might for some, I might not for others. It's pretty far out. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm not promising to make something custom and new for every single episode. But my promise is if I created a resource in any way, shape, or form, I will link it in the podcast description for free for those in the Hybrid Hero Patreon tier. If it's newly created by me, I will give it to you, and whether it's released on DYM or not, that's going to obviously be up to them as the gatekeepers, but I will give you early access. I will just put Dropbox links, and then if I am using something over on DYM, I will give you the link so that you can go grab it from them. I can't give that away. It's theirs. Go give them the royalties, but I will link every single thing we do. I'm planning my youth services, and I am putting them out 1 week ahead of time on Monday. So I'll lay out the entire service flow on Monday. You'll have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to implement that, and then operate on the same National Day schedule that I'm going to be operating on. So like I said, the National Day calendar, if you so choose to participate, the 24th of June is World UFO Day. I've got a graphic for it. You can use it. You can use everything that we're going to do in our ministry. Then on the 1st, it's Canada Day. So hey, why not celebrate our neighbors up north, do some Canada themed stuff, maple syrup, and was it poutine, and then do like a Canada themed game. It'd be super fun. National Ice Cream Sunday is the 8th. The White Elephant Day is National Give Something Away Day. Pi Approximation Day is 22 divided by 7, which is 3.14. That is July 22nd. And then finally on the 29th, it's both National Chicken Wing and National Lasagna Day. Steal these ideas. They've been incredibly successful for us. I'm literally handing them over to you. And the best way for you to access that is my $4 per month Patreon tier, where I drop my bonus podcast. It also gives you access to all of our social media packs. It also gives you access to my carousel engine. $4 per month for all of that. Is $8 for the summer months of June and July worth having everything in your programming, from games to service orders and all of the creative elements? Is it worth it? You have to decide. I think it is. Less than $10 over the course of 2 months. I think it's a radically insane deal. Who says radical? I don't think I've ever said radical on this podcast before, but hey, it's episode 199. I do want to let you know I'm dropping this a little bit out of cycle and order. And so next week and next episode is going to be the 200th episode. And then make sure that you set your notifications for the 19th of June, where we'll start rolling these out and we'll start continuing to push all of these events and reminding you what's coming up on Wednesday and how you can grab the graphics and how you can lean in and how you can celebrate these different national days on the Wednesdays of those of you doing youth ministry this summer. But until next time, my friends, and as always, I hope you found this episode helpful. If you did, give it a like, give us a subscribe, share it with a friend. But don't forget to stay hybrid.